What's going on, world? Welcome to the Select All podcast, episode number 7, coming at you. I'm the Wealth Geek, Turan. I love everything about health. We got Kulwinder in the house, the coding nerd, loves his programming. And then we got Mo in the house, the grumpy engineer. He just likes yelling at people, apparently.
At work, just
At work,
specifically at
at
work.
work, yeah,
Mostly,
specifically at work.
mostly.
Specifically at work. So today we got a good show for you guys. So first off, we're gonna cover a couple of apps that I think are very interesting. The first one's called Flashfood. The second one's called NaturalReader. So stick around to hear about that. I'm pretty sure you're going to be downloading it by the end of this pod. And then we're going to jump into what's hot on the net. We're going to talk about Twitter's new policies and Paul Graham. I don't know much about that, so Mo and Cole are going to be talking about that, and I'm going to be finding out. And we're also going to be talking about the breakthrough in nuclear fusion, which is also doing the rounds on the net. So let's get started. Let's get into the breakdown of our first app.
All right, let me get started. Y'all can see?
Flashfood, yeah, seems interesting. Go ahead, Trent. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yes. So Flashfood. All right. So we all go to the grocery store. We all do groceries at the grocery store. The most common issue for grocery stores are when they have perishable items stocked on shelves. And if it's not purchased by a certain date, they got to chuck it out the window, right? And so there's a lot of food waste due to that. And so some genius came up with an app that allows these grocery stores to sell their perishable items that nears the expiry date at a discount. So essentially what you do with this app is you simply download it. As soon as you open it up, you sign in, and then it takes you to your location, and it shows you grocery stores around your area. Now, where we're at, we're all based in the GTA. From what I've noticed, for GTA for the international listeners is the Greater Toronto Area in Ontario, Canada. And so when I open up the app, I see a few stores around me. The most common one is No Frills. There's also the Superstore that's on there. And so you can click on any one of them. And as soon as you click on it, it'll show you a list of items that they have for sale at a very low price. So as an example, my fiance and I, last week, we decided to test it out. So we clicked on a No Frills near us, and it gave us options of purchasing a pack of Korean meatballs. What else did we get? Italian sausages. So we got 2 boxes of Italian sausages and a bag of pita bread. Okay. Now, our best guess was these prices are probably total up to around 20 to 25, if not more. Okay. Guess how much we got it for? You guys want to take a guess?
12.
$5.
Oh, close. Cole won that one. So we actually got it for around 12 something with tax. It was 11 something.
Oh,
plus
not
tax.
bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It was insane.
That's
It
actually
was
really
insane.
good.
Yeah, and so that covered us for a couple of meals, like 2-3 meals at least, right?
Wow.
Because we could add it with other stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was insane. It was
So,
insane. And
what was the expiry date like? For example, was it going to be expiring in the next 2 days, 3 days?
yes, it was a couple of days, like 2-3 days, right? And so we thought about it, and it kind of makes sense because especially with frozen items, that's food, you can freeze them for an extra few days and you'll be good. It's the
Yeah.
minute you thaw it out, right? And then you got to consume it quick. So
Right.
it made sense from that standpoint. And then we kept looking at it over the past week, and it's pretty awesome the deals you can get. This one day, I went on and I saw a bunch of chicken on for sale, and it's very interesting because it looks like a lot of people are using this app. So we saw the chicken around say 4 or 5 p.m. By 6-7 p.m. it was gone, and there was a lot of options available. It was all cleared out by like 7 p.m. So we're like, okay, so people are using this.
Wow.
And
And so,
yeah, that's what it
question.
looks like. Yeah.
what? How do you differentiate? So when you go to the store, do you say I
Mhm.
got it from this site, or do you order on the app and they have it for you? Like, how do they? Yeah, how does that work?
Yeah, great. I didn't even get into that. So when you make the purchase, so you make the purchase on the app, right? So you
Right.
select what you want, you buy it online with your card, and then you literally just show up to the store. They have a section at the front of the store where they actually have freezers at the front of the store. So they'll pick your items, bag it, put it at the front in the freezer or fridge or whatever,
Mm,
and then you just come say, "Hey, Flash Foods," give them your code, and then they give you the bag. It was a seamless experience from that standpoint too, because
wow.
I was thinking I had to go in the store and find these items, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. But literally, they bag it for you and they give it to you. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Because I thought, like, if you bought it, I was like, if it's on the shelf, how do you differentiate? Do you gotta like kind of look for it and like things along those
Exactly,
lines?
right?
That'd
No,
be super
no.
annoying. And then you have to like tell and explain the cashier. But the fact that they already have this integrated, obviously,
Yeah.
with the stores, that's a
Yeah,
winner. I'm definitely gonna be
The,
it's
trying
the
this
other
out.
thing
That's pretty
I'm
cool.
other thing I'm really liking is like oftentimes you'll hear about all these like food or like delivery apps, etc., and it's mainly concentrated on the states. And like for Canadians, that's not great because it's like if you're gonna advertise to us, at least provide the service at a decent level. But like I'm
yeah,
looking at the service map here, and it's pretty good, at least for like Toronto, where we sometimes
yes,
get things, but like it's pretty like well spread out, I'd say, which is nice
Yeah,
for us.
yeah.
yeah,
I'm pretty
absolutely.
surprised. This is actually really cool. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
just downloaded the app.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm gonna send you guys my referral code.
yeah.
Yo,
Send
swing,
it to
swing.
me. I'll do that. Because I'll probably download
Yeah,
it after this. That's pretty awesome.
yeah.
Good find,
So
Turan.
yeah, for sure. So I'm sure everyone listening to this from the GTA area, especially you guys got to download this app and test it out for yourselves, and let us know in the comments if you do that and what deals you snag, because this is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. And
Yeah, there's
I
like,
was wondering. Sorry, go
sorry,
ahead,
go on.
Turan.
No, I was just gonna say that there's like similar apps, but like not for grocery food store foods, but like bakeries and like small like kind of restaurants where they'll like
Hmm.
make things fresh, but then they have to throw it out at the end of the day. So they'll post deals on the app. Like I forget the app's name. I'll post it maybe on the show notes. But like it's
Hmm.
a similar deal where it's like at the end of the day, if no one's buying it, they're just gonna post it on the app for like crazy discounts because it's
Yeah, no.
gonna.
Funny thing is, that's exactly what I was about to say. But for bigger stores like Tim Hortons and all these
Starbucks.
Starbucks, they have a lot of these things, and they have to throw it out at the end of the day, because then what ends up happening is, where do they give it? I think they should obviously give it to like a food kitchen or something like that, like the
Yeah, yeah.
that'd be
Legal
great.
liabilities.
Yeah, that's the only issue, right?
Yeah, and that's what I heard about that. There's some legal liabilities around, giving it to food soup kitchens and donating it, because it can get them into trouble if there's food poisoning or whatever that occurs from it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, I agree. Cool. This is a good find, man. Good find, Ryan.
All the
I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
dumpster divers around the world are punching the air right now.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
honestly,
like
it's
some
like
of the deals are mind blowing. Yeah, go ahead.
it's such a good idea, and it's like it's an idea I think that all of us would have, but it's sometimes these ideas come out of nowhere and you're like, why didn't I think of that? Like, that's so basic, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure the idea's been around. I think it mainly
Hmm.
just getting everyone to agree on a certain like whatever.
Yeah.
There just has to be an agreement between the companies, the app, and like
Yeah.
what kind of food supply.
Yeah. No,
All
for
right.
sure.
I think the big thing is that the infrastructure within the stores that are on it already, the fact that they have a section at the front with freezers to do it this way, because I feel like that would be a roadblock for some other grocery stores. Because just imagine, both of you thought that I had to go into the store and find the items, right?
Right.
And that would be a good idea in itself. Like I would be willing to do that, right?
Right.
If it's a good discount. But the fact that they have it ready for you to pick up, all you got to
Mm-hmm.
do is order online. I think that really changes the game and
It
really,
does.
even narrows the I guess complexity would be the right word. in terms of using it, because you know that all you got to do is order it and you just got to go pick it up. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would be convincing the store that, okay, your workers actually have to go around and pick this up, right? Like Instacart, the way they got by through the
Mm-hmm.
issue of the stores doing it is they hired their own people. The people that are doing the gig orders are
Mm-hmm.
going into the store and doing it themselves, right? If they got them to do it, if the store owners to do it, they probably wouldn't have done it, right? Because that's
Yeah.
extra work, the extra workers that they need to hire. But this way, it actually does
Mm-hmm.
make sense because you would lose out on that inventory anyways. You're throwing out free cash, whereas here you're at least getting some of your cost back, right? If
Hmm.
not more.
Exactly. And I'm also thinking, I'm wondering if the way they do it, and I'm actually curious, I might actually talk to some of the employees there. But I'm wondering, you know how they do the changeovers of the items closer to? So it's probably
Yeah.
then. So they're not even putting in extra hours to do it, right? So it's probably when they're changing over the items, they know that this batch is going
Yeah.
to near its expiry, putting in the new batch. So they just take the old batch
And just put
and
it
then
in
they
Hmm.
put it on the
put it in
app,
a
right? So
section.
I'm like, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and you probably don't even need like, because they're gonna do the changeover. You put it in a section. Okay, this is like 3 days left, and they probably put it into a section of the warehouse where the food flash food employee comes in and probably does the inventory for all of them and adds it to it or something, right? And that's all you would need, like
Hmm.
one person to just come in every
Yeah.
single day and just upload the new items or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if they hire separately for that too, because the guy I had spoken with, he seemed like he was an employee at the place, so he wasn't like a separate, a
Yeah,
separate employee or company.
yeah, fair point. Yeah, I think Turan, do you want to kind of introduce the next one as well? Natural Reader,
Yeah,
you
for
found this one?
sure. Yeah, yeah. Let's dive into our second app. So, second app's called Natural Reader. All right. So, how did I stumble around this one? So, I like you both. I love reading blog posts, articles, scrolling news feeds, always trying to read stuff, learn about things. But I also find that with certain blog posts, it takes a lot of my time. Not because the blog post is long, maybe because I'm a slow reader, right? I tend to be one of those readers that actually reads the word out loud in my mind, which apparently
Mm.
slows you down when you read. So I'm like, okay, there has to be a faster way, to get through articles. So I also listen to a lot of audiobooks and podcasts, and I find that I'm able to consume.
Wait, hang on. Doesn't
Yeah.
everybody read like that?
No,
What do you
some
mean?
people actually like if you're a speed reader, you just like you
Yeah.
don't read, you read out loud in your head.
You
What?
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That I was trying to do some I was trying to work on my speed reading, and one of the ways to be a faster reader is by not reading the words out loud in your head. You know how your inner voice reads the
Yeah.
words? That slows you down.
But how
Yeah.
is it
So,
possible without doing that? What do you mean?
so it is,
It
and
just
it
is,
comes with
yeah.
practice. Yeah, it is, and it comes to you have to work on things like when you're reading, they say focus on the middle of the page and not go
Yeah, I've
end to
heard that.
end.
Yeah.
That slows you down.
Yeah.
And then as you're reading, you want to just be focused on the words, and it actually works. Like I've tried it. It's really hard. Not
Yeah.
hard. It's really challenging because you're not used to it. But it
Right.
definitely works, and in comprehension wise too, you'll be surprised. You're able to comprehend it. Yeah.
Mo, you're like the fastest reader out of all of us, I think. Like, do you do that? Like, do you read internally?
I there's like websites and stuff that like train you to do it.
Yeah.
I think if I'm in a flow state, I can do it. But like my default is to like read it out loud in my head.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, this is the first time I've heard of it. So when you said that, I was like, "What do you mean, Brad? Like, everybody
some
reads like that."
some martial monk like technique to like
I
speed.
Yeah.
jokes. Sorry,
Yeah.
continue. So what is this?
Yeah. So like Mo said, there's apps definitely out there to learn how to speed read. This is not that. So what Natural Reader is, it's literally an AI text to speech, as it says at the top there. So the great thing about this one, it's free. They have some paid voices to get really clear voices, but the free AI voices are still pretty good to listen to. So essentially, what you do is the way I've used it is you can copy the entire text that you want to read, and you paste it into the app, and then you just literally start it, and then the AI reads it out loud, and you can, and it turns into an audiobook. You literally turn the article into an audio article or audiobook, however you want to call it, right?
Nice.
And now you can consume that same material at 1.5, 1.75 the speed, because now not only are you listening to it, you're also reading it at the same time. And another tip that I learned, for since we're talking about speed reading, when you listen and read at the same time, you're actually able to consume it faster.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So this is what that app helps with, for anyone trying to consume more blog posts faster, articles faster. You can even so I just started playing around with it, but you can put in links as well directly into it. And I think there are more features as well. There has to be more features. I just haven't played around with it a whole lot. There's obviously a paid version that probably unlocks other features as well. But for the very basic use, it does a phenomenal job.
Wow.
Can you download the audio and like play it while you're driving? Oh, I guess you can. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe that might be a paid feature. I haven't tried that, but it looks like you
It
can.
just
Yeah.
says download audio. Yeah.
Yeah, because
that's
for me,
cool.
like, I don't. I mean, for me, I don't. I just read my articles, but this would be interesting to like tap into other like apps that I use to follow like articles and stuff. Like I've gone back to like RSS feeds, so having a system to like hook into my feeds, and then like maybe, especially if I'm like driving or something and I'm tired of podcasts, like
Yeah.
start playing. That would be pretty useful, I think.
Wow, Mo, you read your articles? That's so 2020.
This old 1990s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? You should be
1800s,
using
what are you talking
NaturalReader. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We should like create their YouTube and like shorts for them. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, we're running out of time for this article or this product itself. That was a good share, Trent. That was pretty interesting. I think I'll definitely be trying it out.
Anything you guys want to say in terms of? I guess you might have to test the app out.
Yeah, but my first initial thought is it would be cool. It's just, what's the difference between normal text readers that we had before, like text to speech, versus now, right? Like, how much of an improvement is there? It's not really. Maybe they have some sort of AI component. Obviously, it says it, so hopefully there is. But AI text to speech has been there for a while, right? So how improved is it? I'm wondering.
But like I've tried some in the past. I just don't remember names. It wasn't very good, and most of them, like, they would make you pay for to use it properly. This one,
Right,
even at the free version, you get good value out of using it.
right.
Plus, I think the other thing is like you have a personable voice, so it's like you create your own podcast, right? Like you don't want the TikTok voice reading out
Yeah.
articles to you. Like I would shoot myself.
Hello,
Yeah.
I'm Dave. It's like, okay.
That's the other thing. So Cole, to your point, the paid version, the voices are literally, they sound like humans.
Oh wow.
Whereas the free version, you can tell it's it's not real people talking. But
Right.
the paid one, I tried those voices, and you can get all the different accents as well. The different English accents, which is also interesting. So you
Yeah.
don't have to, there's a lot of choices because it is AI driven, right? And I feel like that may be one of their main
Selling points.
features or selling points that makes them stand out from the crowd. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. All right, so we're gonna jump to what's hot now. Tran, yeah, maybe just introduce it, and then we'll kind of jump into it.
Yeah, for sure. As I said earlier, so the first What's Hot topic is about Twitter's new policies and Paul Graham. That's all I know. So, guys, take it away.
All right, I have the tweet up. It's a pretty disappointing change, if you ask me. So essentially, it sounds like Twitter is cracking down on sharing links to other social media platforms, most likely Mastodon, which is very disappointing to hear, especially with how Elon was supposed to make this a free speech platform. But like, yeah, this is it in black and white. So they're gonna, I guess, remove accounts created solely for the purpose of promoting other social media platforms. That's stupid. Like, I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
already getting into this. Like, a lot of companies use Twitter as like a way to circumnavigate like customer issues, like reaching directly to a person that handles their social media on Twitter. Um, they're saying they're still going to allow cross posting, but like, I don't know how much I trust this right now. Like,
yeah.
I've lost a lot of faith.
Honestly, like the other kind of points, there was a sliver of like understanding. Like for example, the Elon Musk and his jet, right? Like I understood arguments on both sides, because it is a safety issue, etc. Though that that was a kind of public information, so it's not like it's information you couldn't retrieve had it not been on Twitter. Um, but this change just doesn't make sense to me because one way you could argue it is that okay, Twitter's trying to basically prevent other social media platforms getting more attention, but it's probably the wrong way to go about it because they don't prevent it, and they understood that if people are sharing stuff on here, yeah, they might jump to the other platform, but they're also getting that information from this platform to begin with, right?
Yeah,
And
Mhm.
so they would never leave Twitter because I jumped to a Facebook link. You'd come back to the Twitter thread to read the comments, etc. Right? That's what I do. Like if there's something shared on Twitter, I go to that link, consume it, come back to Twitter to see what people said about that link. And so the fact that you're gonna block this is just so stupid, in my opinion. It's actually
yeah,
adding. You know how they say negative publicity is still publicity? Like that's what this is doing. The more people that get banned for sharing Mastodon links or going to Facebook or going to these other platforms, the more people are going to go to those platforms and sign up, right?
Absolutely. So my
Like,
question is, what the hell is Mastodon?
That's fair. So Mastodon is kind of a federated social media um, platform. Basically
Hmm.
allows you to bring up your own server similar to Twitter's. The interface looks very similar to Twitter. You post it like post things like that. It's kind of like a mix of Twitter and Facebook. And you can create your own kind of network. But if you have a Mastodon link, because it shares the same protocol, you can actually jump between different Mastodon networks very easily if you allow if
Interesting.
you're if you allow your network to be accessible by other Mastodon links, you're able to do that. And I believe you can actually shut it down as well and just create a private network if you wanted to, right? Mo?
I believe so. Especially if you own your own server, then yeah,
Yeah. So it's very, very, very interesting what Mastodon has done, and I feel like this move is gonna get more people to go on Mastodon
yeah.
than ever before.
Well,
Like,
it's exposed Mastodon to people who don't know about Mastodon, like myself.
honestly, if you had just let it die, like, I don't think Mastodon would have had this. Like, this is the biggest publicity for them. The fact that you're scared of it means it's like it's something to be worried about.
Honestly, exactly. That's exactly the point.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me as to why they would crack down and like it's like Elon Musk is a smart guy. I don't know. I hope his like advisors and thing they're thinking about this stuff and thinking
It's
through
like
this.
Trump. Do you think the man listens to advisors?
I don't know. I
Like,
don't know.
I think this is a problem with people that are very smart. They don't listen to other people when they have really dumb ideas.
Mm.
Like, as senile as Biden is, at least he knows he's senile, so he lets other people handle shit. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I can't do shit. Like, fuck it. And you
Yeah,
have
but
like sensible
you can't put Biden in the same conversation as these guys. Like,
Yeah.
No,
bro.
that's what I'm saying. No. I'm saying there's like a strength to knowing your own weakness and when to delegate.
Yeah,
That's true.
Right?
yeah.
That's true.
Like, Elon's a smart guy. He's not smart at everything in the world. Like,
Yeah.
and this is what happens when you have no filter or no capacity to take criticism.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be interesting to know how he is now, but I don't know if you guys have read his biography.
I
Um,
have not yet.
I forget what it's called, but it's on Elon Musk. And in that biography, there was one of the chapters where when he doesn't know something, he will actually talk to the expert, and he will ask questions to the expert in such a way so that he understands, he learns from them. So I don't know. I don't know. I think he still has the humility to know when he doesn't know something, and he'll go pursue someone who does and learn from them. But who knows? He could have changed this biography.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
At the
I
same
think
time, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, Mo.
no, sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say, like, there's a lot of people in the conversation, right? Like, I listened to a couple podcasts, and it seems like those people are advising him and things along those lines. I feel he is kind of getting advice from a bunch of people, and it might be that the final conversation leads to something along those lines, um, which I'm just surprised. These like what I don't want to say is like, yeah, this is a stupid move, and it turns out it actually isn't, and like we're missing something because it's not like we've created multiple billion-dollar companies, and so it's like who knows, they may be onto something that we don't understand. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt in that sense, but I do agree. Like I personally still think at this moment, with the knowledge that I have, that this was a stupid move because you're giving more and more publicity to a platform that doesn't require it, right?
Yeah, I like think of every other major social media. Instagram shares stuff from TikTok all the time. Facebook, you post like links to other places. YouTube, like they all recycle content and they're not dying, and they're all like social like media giants. To
Yeah.
fat like it just doesn't make, bro. Instagram, there's literally Instagram accounts that share Twitter screenshots.
Actually? Oh
Yo,
yes,
yeah,
yes, yes, yes.
yeah, exactly.
They do that a lot. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I I think it was a dumb move personally.
It's one of those things that like at the start of it, black and white, it looks dumb.
Yeah.
But the other point I was going to say about Elon trying to go out and learn from experts, you know who actually does that? Bill Gates.
Hmm.
And he's not going around trying to like swing his dick around everything. Actually, he does, but like
He does.
not in the same kind of, yeah, not in
Not in
this,
the same
not in,
industry.
yeah. He does it on the low, you know. Real G's move in science like lasagna.
Lasagna. Where'd you get that from?
Lil Wayne.
Bro, what do you mean? Where did I get that?
Yeah,
No way.
what do you mean? That's
Actually,
a
I don't know. I
classic,
don't
man.
listen to Lil Wayne, man.
Oh,
I haven't
oh
listened to Lil
man.
Wayne in a while. That's hilarious.
Showing your age, bro.
I
Yeah,
know.
Carter man, Carter.
I'm all about that. Yeah, what is Macklemore? But thank you for introducing Macklemore to me, Trent.
Oh, you're welcome. I haven't listened
yeah.
to him in a while.
Me neither, actually, to be honest. I haven't listened to like music in a while, to be honest. Like, yeah, consistently. But yeah, no. So that I don't know. This policy is very interesting, and Paul Graham got suspended. Paul Graham is I believe, the founder of Y Combinator, and he has a bunch of cool essays, by the way, if you guys want to check them out. But yeah, he got banned from Twitter. He's like I don't know, 20, 30
Pretty
million.
big guy.
Yeah, like how many followers does he have?
Why did he get banned?
Like, he shared it because he heard of this policy. He shared his Mastodon link, and then they suspended his account.
Oh my goodness.
He's just like, I give up at this point. This is stupid, and he just shared his Mastodon link, and his account got suspended, which is crazy. Someone like him, like, think about this guy's invested in like Airbnb, Dropbox, Stripe, all these huge companies. Went through Y Combinator and came to fruition, and so he's not like a unknown guy, and got suspended, which is ridiculous.
Wow. Well, again, like, it seems like we don't know his agenda, right? But it gives him publicity. I didn't know who this guy was. Now I do.
Yeah.
Well, Paul Graham's been around. Like, he's big in the VC space. But it's not just Paul Graham. Like, a bunch of other tech people, or like influential tech people that kind of follow this free speech vision that Elon initially presented. They're like, bro, this is totally against that.
Yeah. So what if it's this? Like I like to try to steel man this, or in general try to steel man these conversations with the jet thing where he was exposing that account that was exposing his jet location every time. Is he now unbanned?
He is unbanned, but
He,
that's also not private information. It's not doxing
okay,
because
for sure.
It's
So
public, right?
legally, free speech, it is
yeah,
public information, etc. Right? But if you realize what that's doing though is it's keeping Twitter in the conversation, right? He bans some certain people. People get outraged, start having a conversation. He says, all right, like, what do you guys want me to do? Do you want me to unban now, etc., whatever? He then goes, everyone's like, now? He's like, okay, cool, we'll unban. And unbans that guy. And so I feel like what that's doing is it's playing the same narrative that we're accusing him doing, that, okay, you're putting Mastodon in the space. But if you think about it, if he reverses the decision in like a month or like a couple weeks and he says, oh, we took it back, we want the support of the people, whatever everyone thinks, free speech, etc., and brings it back, this whole time people are going to keep talking about Twitter and being on Twitter to see what's happening on Twitter.
Yeah.
that is not as good a strategy as you think it is, because Instagram, Facebook, they don't thrive off of, they don't need to generate controversy for people to use the platform. The fact that you need to do the users generate it, but the company itself not going out and generating it. The fact that Elon himself has to generate controversy to bring users, that's not a good sign of a healthy platform.
Yeah, like I could see it both ways, but think about like when's the last time you used Facebook actively? Like a lot.
My parents still, I mean, obviously, like they're old, they still use it. Marketplaces is still a thing. Like that's actually a successful like launch.
Yeah, but it's sad that it's a throwaway side project that actually took the thing that was.
It is, but like at the same time, it's also a smart investment decision.
Oh, 100%.
They have Instagram and WhatsApp.
Yeah, no,
That's
I agree.
true.
But my point is that Facebook is now dying off. The older population is using it. The best strategy is your population that's younger that's using it will be best, because they're going to keep using the same platform for a longer period of time, right? Versus your whole population is like 35, 40 plus, right? And now Instagram's kind of getting to the same point, right? There's like stories and things like that, but younger population is using Snapchat, right? With Twitter, it's at the in TikTok, right?
TikTok can be real.
Yeah, and so I heard like Instagram is trying to do real stuff as well, right? The candid stories. There you go. So it's like they're trying to do different things, but they're realizing they're dying. And by adding controversy, you stay part of the conversation. I feel, right? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
But is this sustainable?
You definitely do stay part of the.
Is it? Yeah, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, that might be a different story. But I think it is still allowing you to stay part of the conversation now. Right, I agree with the sustainability of how long he does that for. If he keeps on doing it, I don't know if it'll be valuable in the long run. But from the moment, it's keeping him in the conversation, regardless of what you say. Think about it. We're talking about him. That's exactly the point.
But we would have talked about him anyways, because he does it. Nowadays he does something stupid every week. So
exactly, that's exactly my point. Like,
think of it this way: Trump did something stupid every week, and he still lost the election.
Fair enough. Yeah, but there's a lot of controversy on
guys.
Yeah,
it was
rigged.
I'll get into that.
Social media is rigged. That's why Twitter's losing money.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. So we have run out of time on this one. I think we've spent a fair bit. Yeah, Trent, do you want to introduce the next kind of topic as well?
Yeah, for sure. That was a fun combo there. So now we're going to dive into the breakthrough in nuclear fusion. Colwinder?
Yes. Yeah. So this has been very interesting. We heard about it, I think last week is when it originally came out. So they've managed to have the first reaction where it gave somewhat of a net positive energy out experiment. Excuse me. They've been trying to do this for since the 1960s, apparently.
Decades.
Decades. And so they finally got to a point where, yes, this kind of whole contraption is very non-production level just yet, so it is in the experimental phases. They shined 196 beams to basically create this reaction, and it gave a net positive energy output, right? It said you could basically, the amount of energy it kind of let out, you could probably power 15 to 16 like kettles for a day, I believe.
Oh wow.
But yeah, this is the first time they were able to do that. So what does that mean? Like, what is nuclear fusion? For those who kind of wondering, it's essentially the same type of reaction that happens at the core of the sun. It's getting two atoms that are similar to come close together, and it comes so close together that they actually merge and create a reaction and create a new element, right? So one of the common ones is two hydrogen atoms, and they come together and create helium. But the problem is they both repel each other because they're similar in terms of their kind of electrons and things along those lines, right? So if you try to push them together, they actually repel each other very strongly. But you can still keep pushing them together with a lot of energy, right? And if you get them close enough, then a reaction happens, and it turns into the new kind of atom, and then it lets off the excess, which is the energy that is released, right? So that is the kind of reaction that happens. The sun allows it to happen because of just the gravity of the sun, right? It's so powerful and so big that those reactions are happening at the core constantly. Whereas reproducing that on the Earth is very hard, right? And so they finally were able to pull that reaction off.
To caveat to that is that we've had fusion for decades. Like, people have been able to fuse atoms in like a reactor for, I don't know, 40, 50 years. The difference is now that they actually generated more energy from the reaction than they put in, with the caveat that there's like a lot of high energy setup that needed to take place. So it's not like self-sustaining right now, and it's not like we're going to have fusion reactors tomorrow. There's still a long road ahead, but in terms of science, it is a pretty, what did the president say? BFG or BFD?
No clue. What is BFD?
Oh, like big fucking deal.
Oh, okay. Wow, I'm stupid. Yeah, it is a BFD. It is a really big deal. Like, it's a step in the right direction, right? Because they've been doing nuclear fission for a while, but nuclear fusion, it still produces radioactive material, but less so relative to nuclear fission, right?
Yeah, I guess for the non-tech or non-science aligned like listeners to the podcast, like in general, why this is a big deal, because it seems too good to be true, like fusion energy. Like, if this is going along the lines that we are hoping to, we will have cheap, near infinite, safe energy. Like, all those three things, it will literally revolutionize all of society. To have free and abundant, safe energy all throughout the world, it is crazy. That it would be an actual game changer. Like, so many things would be unlocked by having cheaper energy, right? But
they do say that there's cheaper energy in terms of like solar already, right? Like, you're able to hone solar energy very well from the sun, etc. And the issue is a kind of storage, right?
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Like, I think this is,
so I could mine Bitcoin with it?
Yeah, but actually the difference is as Mo was saying is we do have cheap energy right now. It is getting cheaper by the year, right? Like, every year it's getting cheaper and cheaper. But the issue becomes
really,
energy is becoming cheaper.
It's
very like what kind of energy? Because energy costs are going up.
Like, solar energy compared to like coal, it's cheaper than. I think the issue is still like other things around renewable, like infrastructure, storage costs, etc. Right? But like, there are times in the day, it's especially in like places like California, which is highly developed, like energy rates do go in the negative because there's so much solar generation that they have to think of ways to like, how can we store this? Because it's not economical to sell this energy right now because there's so much of it.
Yeah. So it is getting cheaper now. With nuclear fusion, though, you're not just going to get cheaper energy, you're going to get 10 times the energy. Like you're going to get a
Yeah.
lot of it, meaning you can do more than we were probably able to do. We're going to have more energy than things to do with it. Like we
Yeah.
won't know what the hell to do with it. So that might actually lead to things that be like, all right, we have this excess energy. What can we do with it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
talking about that, bringing back that concept of like an idea printer, right, as we discussed last time. I think it'll kind of help with this. I was trying to steel man this all the way through, and I'm like, well, then what ends up happening when everything can be just thought of and printed out? What is the cost, right? Then the cost becomes energy. But then if energy itself is going to get near like free, what the hell? What cost remains? That I don't understand. Like what cost remains after that, right? And then it probably just means your imagination is the cost.
Yeah.
So chemical energy, like food, I don't know.
Interesting.
It is
And
crazy.
so then this type of energy is fusion energy. Could it be created at scale in a safe manner? Because you know what happened to nuclear energy and all the calamities that happened from
well,
that, right? So
yeah. The reason it's safe is because with fission, you do have like radioactive waste. Like that is a byproduct. With fusion, you're creating already a safe product, helium, or like in the most basic one in the sun. Like you can inhale that and you'll have a funny voice, but that's the worst that'll happen, right? Like
okay.
there's no like radioactive byproduct, right?
From what I heard, there's a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
very minimal and it decays very quickly.
Yeah.
Could the byproduct be used for anything, or it's just complete waste? There's nothing that could be done.
It's helium. I mean, at least like with helium, we are actually running out of supply of it.
Blow
Like
up some
that's
balloons.
when people. Honestly, it's actually a concern. Like because we only have a finite supply of helium, and it escapes pretty easily into the atmosphere. So there's somewhat of a concern. Like, oh, when we do get low, like how are we going to handle it? Because
it's also blow up our balloons.
Exactly. I mean, there's other uses of helium outside of balloons, so it was something of a concern. But anyways, but there's reason to be excited, but there's also reason to be like chill about it because we are still a ways away. Like it's not going to solve our problems; it'll solve our grandkids' problems.
Yeah. I personally think it'll be quicker than that.
It's hard, man. Like a fission reactor already takes like 15-20 years to get up and running, right? And that's with known technology.
That's because Elon Musk didn't go into the industry. No, just kidding.
I'll watch him.
Bro, Bill Gates has been. Yeah, nah, man. Gates has been pushing that. It's hard. Like, there's a lot of regulation to push nuclear energy through, and
Is it the resistance to this? Is it kind of the regulation, or is it more so the technology? Right? Because
for fusion.
No, for fission it was regulation, but fusion. Do you think the resistance in your kind of timeline would be the regulation aspect, or do you think the technology will actually get there, but the issue with the regulation is
for me, I think it's still technology. Like we're still a ways away.
You think so, eh?
Yeah.
So the reason I believe, like, I just have right. It's like, for example, when like machine learning started, it was introduced. Excuse me, I don't remember when Andrew, I forgot his last name. He released an MIT course. He was kind of like the finding or forefather of machine learning, I think. I'm sure other people were doing it before him as well, but he kind of took it on at that point. And so right after that, like AI and machine learning and deep learning, all this kind of stuff really took off, right? I think we should, I don't know, I give benefit of the doubt. I think technology starts going at an exponential rate, right? So more people are going to start trying to do nuclear fusion.
Yeah.
There's going to be more investment. And so more engineers are trying to solve this problem that they thought was not actually possible, or it wasn't going to be something they should put their mind towards. And then when you start concentrating as a society on this one problem, I think it'll go faster than you think.
No, I see the exponential aspect. To your point about like more engineers, when this news came out and I was watching the press conference and then a bunch of other fusion videos after that, I'm like, oh, you know how like I guess the 2000s to 2020s is like the decades of the software engineer, and before that it was like the electronic engineer, etc. I feel like the decade of the what is it, nuclear engineers coming up. It's not here yet, but I feel like that's the next stage. Like engineers that deal with energy and generation of it is going to be, especially nuclear. Even because I think we're engineer.
Yeah, still software.
That's all software. Yeah, I think with the nuclear stuff, I think we're starting to figure out like a lot of other like applications and like how to scale that. Like I don't know. There's a lot of technology unlocking that might happen as we get more understanding about the space. Because
I agree. It's what a time to be alive, man. The things that are coming out is just crazy. Every single year, I'm just like, wow, it's amazing that this is even happening. Even like ChatGPT, we talked about it last time. It's just blowing my mind about how many different things are actually being created and being introduced into the world.
And then earlier this year, I don't even know if we talked about it. DALL-E, like the art generation.
Oh, we got to talk about that. Yeah, maybe next time.
It's funny. I introduced it at my company, like before we started a meeting. People were like coming in slowly and trickling in, and I was sharing my screen with DALL-E, and I'm like, "Tell me what you want me to type," and I would like type random things, and people are like, "We don't believe this. It's just a bunch of if statements," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Technically, in the background, there's an if statement with a multiplier, and if you know, you know.
Those jokes.
I don't know.
Imagine though, it's just like thousands and thousands of if statements. If they type this, if it contains, that'd be hilarious. But yeah, no.
All right.
So this was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. We talked about the Flashfood app, which I'm definitely going to be downloading. So Turan, send me the referral code. NaturalReader, which was really cool. I definitely will be checking that out. I know Mo won't because he reads his articles like he's 2020. And then Twitter was very interesting. It'd be interesting to follow what Paul Graham does, things along those lines. And let us know what you guys think in the comments below. We really appreciate you guys checking us out, and to the 14 subscribers we have right now, really appreciate it.
Yes,
right. Keep supporting. Thank you so much. And if you guys can, please do like the video. It helps us, as well as leave a comment of what you guys think and what you guys want us to talk about next.
Yeah. Do you guys actually have a question for this week? Because I got one loaded.
Do it.
Oh, go right ahead, Mo. I was actually gonna talk.
Yeah,
about
bro.
That. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Are you guys going to stick to Twitter? Are you guys going to move something else for short form social media? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, I already am starting to migrate, seeing what's good, but what are y'all, where do you guys, I want to be where the conversation is, but.
Exactly. Good. Leave it in the comments below. We'll answer it next time in terms of what we think. Thank you so much for checking us out. Appreciate it.
Easy.
Sayonara.